So we were just talking about traffic on the road, but this unique freeway may be immune to those kinds of backups.
It's a freeway for fish, and they even have their own off-ramp. While it may sound strange, some scientists say it could be the key to helping a threatened species.
Brad Hicks explains.
The fish on this scale
5010
is something of a miracle.
They thought that fish was extinct.
120 years ago, Derby Dam was built on the Truckee River east of Reno.
Years later, we realized that it cut off passage for the Lahontan cutthroat trout.
The species could no longer swim upstream to spawn. It vanished.
Gone from the system entirely.
But in the late 1970s, a surprise discovery. Someone a century ago had put a small population of the fish in a remote stream nearly 400 miles away. The species had survived. And now the Lahontan cutthroat trout's remarkable return to the Truckee is being aided by this.
The biggest horizontal fish screen in the world.
Vertical fish screens have been around a long time. They keep fish from getting into irrigation canals and power plants, but they don't work well and they break a lot.
They've got a lot of moving parts.
So Dan Klein-Smith and his team along Oregon's Hood River came up with a whole new concept.
This was the prototype for sure.
A horizontal screen. Here's how it works. Water diverted from the river passes over the metal screen. Fish stay above it, but water also passes through the screen and off into the irrigation canal or pipeline, free of fish and debris. It seems simple, but the weir wall has to be just the right height to keep enough water above the screen for the fish, and the taper wall at the perfect angle to keep the flow fast enough despite changing conditions, so fish can swim out the end and get routed back into the river.
No moving parts.
Good for the fish, good for the farmers.
They really had a solution that could help other irrigators.
So when the federal government was trying to keep the threatened Lahontan cutthroat trout out of the Truckee irrigation canal in Nevada, someone said,
Why don't you guys look into that?
to bring the species back to the Truckee River, a fish passage had been built around the dam so they could once again spawn upstream.
The problem was for the juveniles or the adults to return back downstream without going down the canal.
So 5 of the horizontal fish screens were built where the Truckee Canal breaks off from the river. When we visited, the canal was empty for maintenance, so you can see what's normally underwater. Here are the pipes that route the fish back into the river.
One of the cool things we found right off the bat was that the adults were going down and using that fish screen.
A big step for the fish that came back from the dead. Along the Truckee River, Brad Hicks reporting.